welcome everyone. 5-5. Powerful day. Powerful day. So welcome. We're going to have a really fun session today and hopefully put an end to all of the challenges and struggles that we have been facing through this, not only eclipse window, but also the Mercury retrograde. So it looks like my sound is coming in clear, and yes, we should be good. Cool. All right, so feel free to say hello when you jump on. Feel free to, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And that way, because I do post things intermittently, and yeah, it's a good way to keep track of things I do. All right. So we should have a nice group of people tonight, and we are starting a little bit early because do a little talking. We're going to actually do a warm up to get everyone connected just before the actual start to the healing. I actually meant to do it last session, but it completely slipped my mind. So yeah, it's gonna be nice. We're gonna have a nice time. And yeah, so we'll talk about some of the more recent challenges we had with this energy. And like always, I tell people you don't have to know a lot about the planets and astrology, but you do need to know a little bit, because it really does help, and it really does give us a better understanding of not only the ebbs and flows of how our reality shifts up and down with different catalysts from the planets, but also, as I was just talking about this in my group, in my lecture series, is that it's important to recognize that we all have these archetypes, these journeys of the mind that are taking place. And we all have these specific journeys, these specific lessons guided by your own higher power. And they're always major themes. And you can always take a second and think about your life and think about if there's any particular major emotion that comes up more often than not. And typically, that is what your soul came to do down here on earth. It came to have this really rich, complex experience, learning about, loss or grief, or the transmutation of a challenging situation, and it could be like a lifelong struggle. And if you keep up with that hero's journey, then you're blessed in the end with the reward of harmony, because all of those challenging emotions lead back into harmony. And that's what the soul is all about. That's what the soul wants. So when you learn about, this eclipse window, knowing that there is an eclipse coming, it's all there. Nearly every time there's going to be a buildup of some form of catalyst that will relate to the way in which you are experiencing your emotional body, your physical journey here on earth. And the more you practice, the more you meditate, the more you connect with your higher power, the more pronounced these eclipses, full moons, new moons, everything between, the more they will have an effect on your body. Because if you are not practicing, and these eclipses don't do too much, that's the common question, is why do some people go through it and other people, like, I'll say, like our, you could have someone's parents, they're just living their normal everyday lives. But the point is this is why there's a difference, because just because you're in the ocean doesn't mean you're having the same experience. Just because you just got your toes in the water, that doesn't mean that you're surfing on the 6-foot, 7-foot wave that's breaking on the shore. That's two completely different experiences, but connected to the completely exact same medium. That's what happens when you begin the quest to learn yourself, to understand yourself, to self-realize, to recognize what you truly are, what you're here to do. So when you find these eclipse windows, recognize that these are beautiful times to have a light shined on a piece of your energy field that may give you a deeper insight or realization about what you may need to complete or do. Of course, we have a few people jumped on here. Josephine, how's it going? I see your name on here. Jess, how are you? Jen. Mary, how's it going? Lisa, I was about to say LB, and I was like, oh, I know that name. That's Lisa. Tracy, how's it going from California? We're neighbors now. We are neighbors. What part of California are you from? 'Cause I think we're like, I'm not sure how far. We're not too far from the coast, but it's definitely a bit of a drive. Monica, our old neighbors in Northport, definitely miss you a lot. Debbie, you're in Englewood, aren't you? Shayna and Joe, how's it going, Joe? Awesome. So yeah, we should have a nice little bunch of people on here. We started a little bit early, just to get a little talking. I know there's a few new people that will be jumping on as we get closer to the beginning of the session. Make sure we didn't get any stragglers coming in here on my email list. Nope, we're good to go. Perfect. Okay, we got one coming in. Let's see here. Ooh, that's not it. So yeah, things you can do right now is to prepare your space. Prepare your space. Get your pillows ready, get your blankets ready, maybe have some props. Because being comfortable is really important. Because if you are going to get sore, then your higher power might not let you go as deep as you could during this session. So 1 second, I'm going to send this link here. Alrighty. Yeah, so keep track of the cycles, the moon cycles, eclipse cycles. And as I said, we're coming out of this eclipse cycle, and we should see if you had it hard, it will begin to wane, especially within this next week. So pay attention to that. And what we have coming up is actually a really special session where we're going to connect with Mount Shasta, which is the root chakra of the earth. And that's going to be a much needed grounding session with just so many people just getting tossed around with the current energies. And so we're going to draw in and bring that root energy of the earth. And it's such a peaceful, cohesive, secure feeling when you connect with Mount Shasta. And if you haven't been there, I highly recommend doing a pilgrimage at some point in your life. There's just a beautiful energy there. It's really unique to itself. And a cool story about Mount Shasta, since that's coming up on our next session, is when I went there, I only had a brief time to meditate, to be on the mountain. and I just got right to business. I was there for just one night only. Set up my meditation circle and meditated, and the one really cool thing that happened was I had a change, almost an immediate change in the way in which I recognized the voice of nature, the voice of Mother Nature. It was as if it was just turned on. And I could suddenly hear the wind. I could hear the earth. I could hear how the elements are in a continual communication with you, 24/7. The elements are in continual communication with you, and going to Mount Shasta really helped turn that on to hear that voice a little bit more clearly. Yeah, Mount Shasta, Tracy said, Mount Shasta is the most beautiful, opposite of what we experience every day. You can't help but feel it. It's definitely, it's very palpable, very tangible energy when you get there. So we have about 15 minutes before we take our seats. And if you have any type of intention or something that you specifically want to help change or to get insights with, this is the time to kind of formulate. Because so what happens is, I take my seat, I do my big invocation, I connect to all the energy and raise my vibration to an extremely high level. And then I open up that connection, that field to the group. And that spiritual catalyst, that energy can just rain and connect to everyone. And that in-stream of high frequency energy has the ability to provide a catalyst to work with your specific journey. Because our higher essence, it understands exactly what we need. It knows exactly our troubles. It knows what we need. It knows what we need to complete those troubles or to bring harmony to those troubles. So all you need to do is just think deeply about what it is you want to grow from or get insight to or support with. And just surrender to that intention when you begin to feel the connection open up. And that's all you need to do. Yeah, so this is a really powerful way, really great way to give some self-care back to your energy body. We go through, we take on so much stress. We don't even realize how much stress that we take on as we go through our lives. Just running into large crowded areas, you just pick up tons of just stagnant material. And the more sensitive you become, even going into different stores, different restaurants, different social spaces, they all feel different and they all carry an imprint of those who were there and what they were doing. Me and Megan were just on a trip recently. This happens nearly every single time, is that we go to a hotel, a big hotel, and you just get inundated with just spirits just flying around, because if you could actually see through the veil and just see all of the souls just flying around doing their thing, you would be astonished. You'd be astonished. They're everywhere, and most are just getting their last glimpses of the physical plane before they move on. And others are purposely here, trying to stay and connect to that earth energy. And yeah, so these sessions can help do that clearing, help get your field restored, help do that technical necessity for your own, well-being. So there's so many applications to how this can help you. And the more, I'm sure the more that you learn how to receive, because there is an art to receiving, the better you will be able to work with this energy. And I'm sure they're on the live right now. I have two members that, sometimes they'll take this energy and they'll actually channel it to a loved one or to another individual or to a situation. So there's many, many applications on what you can do with this energy. So it's only limited to your own creativity. All right. Alrighty. So, so I've been messing with my little studio setup, and I had this new camera hooked up. So I want to see what this looks like. If everyone's looking at the screen, let me know if this camera angle. Okay, sorry. Yeah, we'll keep it on this one. Okay, yeah, I see what was going on. Okay. We'll keep it on this guy for now. Anywho, so yeah, have your intentions formed. Call on your guides, clear your space. Now is the time to get all of that set up. Yeah, the original one's better, so we got this put back to normal. Okay. All right, so we've got about 9 minutes, and I'm going to take my seat, and we're going to get started. This is going to be a nice session. I'm honestly very much looking forward to getting this energy, getting beyond the eclipse window. And let's see when our next eclipse is. There will be 4 eclipses. Let's see. Oh, so just another before I say so the 19th and 20th was April, and then May 5th, which is our lunar eclipse, and then, okay, so the next one is going to be October 14th. Is the next eclipse. So be prepared coming out of the 14th, and then October 28th would be the last eclipse of the year. So I think we're going to have a nice run through the summer. Just so you know, we have the cosmic consciousness that's going to be happening after Mount Shasta. So it's actually one of the more popular group connections that we do. ET consciousness is one of the most prevalent forms of energetic support that we have on this planet, along with the angelic community. I mean, so many entities, but there are tons of ET groups that are super helpful And when you feel them and make connection to them, you begin to recognize the severity of the human condition and how much service we are in need of, how much assistance we are in need of with our own consciousness. And that's part of what these sessions do, friends. It's getting us under that high vibrational frequency to help raise us up, finding harmony, popping out the dense of our field, bringing to the surface the karma that needs to be cleared, and everything else in between. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Yeah, so Jan made a comment saying the last couple of days have been really intense, emotional, mental. I'm feeling today some groundedness is needed to do and be as I wish. Does this make sense? Oh, definitely. Yeah, and the other thing is, like, some people are more affected by the eclipses than others depending on your signs. So that's another thing that happens every now and again, is your sign may be in relation to the eclipse that's happening or whatever moon we're in, and it could add an extra layer of intensity. Sometimes, like, especially when a full moon is in my sign, one of my top 3 signs, your sun, your moon, or your rising, that could be a good moon for you. That could be a time where it won't affect you as much, or you'll be able to be more productive towards your own expansion. And other times, the moons are just really, really challenging, and they pose some notable energies to work through. Yes, but that's why we have some good grounding coming up after this session. Hey Beth, thanks for tuning in. Yes, we got a nice group of people coming on, and yeah, this is gonna be a nice session. So I always want to talk a little bit about, the behind the scenes look at what I'm doing. So as I said before, this is a really unique energetic alignment that I get placed in which nearly the only time I feel these sensations and these experiences is when I do this activity. It's not necessarily something that I can practice in a way. I mean, I can prepare myself, but it's kind of like when you're practicing for a sport and then it's game time, and how you perform during game time is that's like your measure. That's like how you actually do in the real situation. So that's kind of like what happens during these group sessions, where every session is like a performance that I'm doing, in which I've been training and working hard and building my alignment so that I can produce a quality performance. And it's just immediately within the first 5 to 10 minutes, it's just an enormous amount of energy that kind of encapsulates me. And I have to do my very, very best to keep my consciousness and my awareness grounded in this dimension, grounded around my body, because the body begins to dissolve and I begin to feel the sensations of the actual toroidal field that we are. And then it's just learning how to balance that toroidal field superimposed on my body so I don't get ungrounded and my awareness gets sucked off the body, but to keep that form as long as possible without any lapses of concentration. And that's a big thing. It's one of my expertise, and why I have these abilities and skills is I can hold a very clear mind for a long period of time. But in the end, it's like you're balancing 10 different aspects of it's like you're juggling 10 different things when I sit down and feel my body, make sure my body's not going to get sore, feel the energy come down, make sure I'm balancing the energy, I'm not getting tired, and then holding the force of the spirit, and then keeping that connection like contained. So there's so many moving parts that happen during the session that equal a more powerful or less powerful experience to you. So it really is a beautiful thing that happens, and that's why I'm dedicated to just perfecting this experience, because I can see what would happen if I continue with this and continue my discipline Because every now and again, I'll get a session where like, wow, I did really good that time. And hopefully that translates into other people. So if you ever get lost in the connection, all you can do is just put your focus back on me, back on the group, or back on the intention of the whole. Because you have a literal energetic cord that's going directly to you. That's an in-stream of this high frequency. There's so many spiritual forces that are working with you right now that are waiting for us. If you could only see, oh my gosh, that's the funny thing, is you think there's, there probably should be 20 to 30 of us by the time, we're all said and done. And if you could only see on the other side how much spiritual support is there helping you and each and every person. There's like hundreds of entities working with us. But I don't want that to be mistaken because, there's one spirit, there's one spirit, but there are many individual aspects to the one. So it's all fun, and it's such a paradox being down here. All right, so we have about 1 minute, and we will be getting started. 1 minute, so get your space. I'm going to turn on the sound bath in just a moment. So this sound bath is optional. It's just to help you get into the zone and feel. Sometimes music helps. It gives you a little bit more support. And there are some beautiful energies encoded into this sound bath. But as I said, it's optional. All you need is that mental permission to receive energy, and that's all it takes to allow the spirit in and connect with us. All right, so we got 4 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So we are starting now, friends. So enjoy, and we will connect back here in just a moment. Yeah, 60 minutes, and I will see everyone soon. Okay. All right, so last thing. Okay, so last thing before we begin. I meant to do this last session too. Okay, so everyone here, if you are listening to this recording, so here's how we are going to begin. So I want everyone on the count of 3 to breathe with me. A big inhale. So 1, 2, 3. Inhale. And exhale. And one more breath. Inhale. Hold and exhale. One last breath in. And exhale. Alrighty, so I want you to place your focus on the top of your head, your crown chakra, and I want you to envision your crown opening and touching the ceiling, opening that gateway to the divine, to a higher power. A very important energy point. Feeling the space above your head, shoot straight to the roof and beyond. Do that now. And next, I want you to place your focus on your heart center. Begin to feel your heartbeat. Feel that energy build. And I want you to open your heart to everyone in the group, everyone who is receiving this energy. So you can take an inhale and exhale and open up that energy and connect. And lastly, we are going to place our focus at our tailbone, connecting our tailbone to the core of the earth. So place your focus at your tailbone and allowing that grounding energy to connect down, fully securing and opening our energetic connections. All right, everyone, enjoy, and we will begin. back. We are back. Wow, that was it for me. I learned so much during that session. Oh my gosh. You know, it reminds me maybe like kind of the analogy of being a little kid and like having your training wheels on for a long time, or you know, finally taking them off, because the alignment that I hit during the last half was just incredible. That was definitely one of the top like advancements in recent memory. I'd have to talk for 30 minutes to tell you what transpired with how they like coach me on where to keep my awareness and my form in order to like allow this flow to be like uninterrupted and fluid. But such beautiful energy, and I hope that was felt and received with everyone who participated. Yeah, so feel free if you have any experiences that came up. Feel free to share how your body feels, how your mind feels, if it was able to alleviate any of the mental, emotional distortions. Super clean, super clear, beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel very clear. I could just feel the whole, last couple weeks just burn away as soon as I like had this feeling locked in. And it was just like, oh yes, this is it. I hope this is being received. Awesome. Jen had a good experience. Mary says that was amazing. Yeah, so make sure to do some grounding after that. Drink some water. Drink lots of water. Salt baths are always really good if you want to continue your healing and clearing. Taking an Epsom salt bath is always beneficial for most of us. Buzzing with energy. Yeah, I honestly could have, if it wasn't for my hips I was starting to feel my hips. If it wasn't for that, I could have just kept going. I could have sat in there for another hour, which is a testament when you really lock in the magnetism of energy that we have to work with, and the alignment that we can build and like contain that power. Like you just become this glowing ball of like a sun. I could feel, even though I'm in service and I have this continuous, constant, I am in service, this is for everyone else, there's still things that open up and happen within me as well. And feeling the heart open up at the end was just such a beautiful feeling. And then gratitude too. Friends, if you want to stay away from negativity, if you want to just banish all the psychic attacks and influence and just bad things in your life, just be grateful. Just be grateful. Gratitude is an incredible, incredible feeling. As soon as I felt it, because I play around with a couple emotions that keep me in the strongest feelings, and when I tap into gratitude, it just literally, it's like you collapse in and then this other part of your field just puffs out, pushing anything that is not in the positively aligned service to others sensation. It just pushes all that out. Negativity, self-serving, bad spirits, bad anything, it can't be in your field. It literally just, it's the antithesis. So it's, it's these simple lessons that have the most meaning. Clear and connected to the I am. Beautiful. Take a walk to ground. Didn't feel like hour. Yeah, it felt really quick. It felt really quick to me as well. But we went right on the dot with the hour. Yeah, definitely take a nice walk outside. That's what I'm going to do as soon as we end this. I'm going to take a walk outside too. Beth says, this session was very active, received a lot of direction, feel clear, relaxed and good. Mary did a bath detox in the afternoon. Yeah, because I was sharing your experience and anything that came up for you. There's a lot of people that read that, and they may not want to share, but it helps them reflect and understand things that are going on with them too. So I know it's not the most fun thing to jump on the keyboard and share what you felt or anything that popped up, but it does help people see correlations and reflections and contrast with things that they went through too. So it does help. And Shayna says, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you. I'm definitely grateful for everyone on here. Without you, I would not be able to do this. So I am as much grateful for you to be in this position, to hold this space, to connect in this way, and for you to receive. So I'm really happy to be in this, and I hope to continue growing and growing and growing the group healing session. So if you have any of your friends, family that want, or you think that would benefit from this, let me know. Send them this way, and they can even try out a session. I never turn down anyone, friends. I never turn down anyone for these sessions. I know I charge money because that's the way we live in this system. I charge a little bit. I don't charge a lot, but it's a way that we can all receive harmony in some way, shape, or form. And but I never turn down anyone. I literally never turn down anyone. But at the same time, I do practice discernment because my time is very, very valuable. What else we got here? Mary says she's grateful for this group. Grounded outside before the session. I will enjoy my foot salt lamp before bed. Really cool. Yeah, salt lamps are awesome. And thank you, Sarah. Thank you for tuning in and joining. Debbie says feels a lot more settled. Super emotionally. And yeah, it's definitely one of the symptoms of this time frame, being in this window. Yeah, so word of mouth is the biggest way that we've helped grow this group. So if you want to support me in the ways that I need support, it's always helping bring people, show them to the group. It's always been really difficult for a variety of reasons, but it's always really helpful. And those of you who have shared it with your friends and brought them in, thank you very much for helping out, because that little bit of support, it goes a long ways. It goes a long ways. Yes, this video will be available for replay. Let's see, what was that question? Yeah, we can share this this replay. And so the link that you have that I sent through the email, this live is unlisted, so you can't find it unless you actually have the link. So you can share the link with someone that you feel may benefit from this. Because another cool thing about this working is that when I do my invocation, and a lot of you energy workers know this, when I do the invocation, like this energy it's meant to go to all who are meant to receive it. So that includes people in the future, or people who are going to do the replay. So if you're catching this and you're watching the replay, you can't do it later, know that even though you're listening to this as a recording, I'm connected to you, and this energy is designed to go to you and be received in that way. Going to the salt pool. Oh, I wish I had a salt pool. Alright, cool. So, alright, friends. So that'll probably do it for this evening. The next session, as I mentioned, is the Mount Shasta session. So Mount Shasta is going to be a beautiful grounding session. It should be the exact opposite of the energies we've been feeling and really get us connected to the body. One last thing I'll share, because I don't share too much about what happens with me and my experience, but when I was sitting down, the goal, it's the energy comes in through the top, third eye, crown is just you're just overloaded on your top half. And like I was slowly learning to get my awareness down into my belly, down into these when you do the different mudras, like I can feel the electrical circuits like crisscrossing through my body in that serpent shape. And I was really feeling it hit my lower body, because it's so hard to ground that, just the magnetism of the third eye and the spiritual forces. It's always a challenge to get the energy into my legs, my feet. But I did a really good job. Still room for improvement, but I can only imagine, if I continue over the years, where this will go. Yeah, so thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. I appreciate the kind words, everyone. Yeah, deja vu. That means you're on the right path. That means this was in your lineup to experience. It's like it already happened. All right, we'll leave it there, everyone. That'll do it. So feel free to send me a message. And yeah, if you have anyone that wants to join the sessions, feel free to send my way. Happy to help. All right, everyone, have a good evening. Remember to drink water. Lots of water. Goodbye.